I'm still in shock. You know, when I think about the beginning of that day, when she went into finals, nobody knew her name. She wasn't a front runner. Nobody had her in their top 15. And at the end of that night, everyone knew her name. And it changed in just a matter of seconds. And then to be a parent and be able to see your daughter's dream come true right before your eyes, that is just such a blessing. And then the greatest part is I can watch it over and over and over because it was recorded.
So how many times have you watched it?
Oh, I've watched it several times. And it seems like before they announced North Dakota, it took forever. You know, everything was happening so fast. And how they do it at the pageant is when you come in, they have all the parents put in a holding area. And so we didn't see the opening number or anything like that. We had to watch the television monitors just like everyone else. We found out the top 15 like everyone else. And then they said, okay, if your daughter is called, security will come and get you, and then we put you in a designated seating area. And so, of course, she was called last. She was 14. 15 is people's choice, and usually, you know, that's usually going to go to a bigger state that has a lot of people. So I thought, okay, there's only one spot left, and then they called her, and so they escorted us down to that area, and they create a seating chart so they know which parent goes to which girl. It's very organized. And then they told us, whoever is the winner, security is going to come get you because we want to get you down to the end of the runway and she's not going to know that you're there.
I wondered how you had that.
So when you asked about did I cry, everything was happening so fast. Security is saying, you got to go, you got to go. So we were quick getting down there to the end of the runway. Cara said that she doesn't remember them putting the crown or the sash on her. She said when she started her walk, she said it was just kind of robotic. And it didn't really hit her until she got to the end of the runway and saw us. And then she bent down and she touches the crown and she said, is this real? You know? So then I teared up. One of my favorite things is to see the girl get crowned. And we didn't get to see it because security came and got us. So by the time we got to the runway, she already was walking down. And I thought, well, that's all good. That's all good. She won. She's coming towards us and all that. Well, then my next favorite part is when they go back and all the girls huddle around them. I just love that part. And security said, we have to take you now. So I never got to see that either. And security said, we have to get you out of the building before the show is over with, otherwise we're not going to get you through the crowds. So they escorted my husband and I out, so I never did get to see that last moments with her. And thank goodness they did that Facebook Live, because then you could see the photos that they took with the judges and the former Miss Americas. And that's the other thing that hit me, is she's a former Miss America. She is going to be there every single year. You know, she's with Lee Merriweather, Phyllis George. I mean, seriously, I mean, that's just, So anyway, they got us out and they took us over to the area where the press conference was. And you can look at that one online. And it started off, they had Doug and I over on the side, and there was cameras and reporters, and the place was just packed. And they had the celebrity judges come out first, and each one of them talked about, 3 to 5 minutes what it was like to judge that. And then they had Cara come out as the new Miss America, and she did her acceptance speech and a question and answer session. And then they said, okay, we're going to be going now over to the after party, which was over at Caesar's Palace. And right before we left, Molly Sims came up to her and she said, we're going to Snapchat Josh because I want to introduce him to the newest North Dakotan that's famous, right?
Deal.
So Cara comes over and she goes, I just Snapchatted Josh Duhamel. So anyway, security said, okay, we have to get you to the after party and we got to hurry. So they escorted us through Boardwalk Hall, and we were this back hallway that I had never been before. And the next thing I know, we're in this underground parking garage. And there is 2 stretch limousines there, security everywhere, police, siren, there are the lights going, and they put Cara and Sam Haskell, who's the CEO of Miss America, in the first limo, and then Doug and I and Josh Randall, who's second in command at Miss America, in the second limo. And they proceed, and then it was a police escort. They took us down the streets of Atlantic City. The lights were going, people were moving to the sides, and we were going right down the middle. And I just looked at my husband and I said, this is her life now. I mean, it changed in just those few seconds. So then they took us over to Caesar's Palace. We were in another underground parking garage. They took us up a freight elevator. We walked through the kitchen.
No way.
Yes. And then the next thing I know, they opened up the doors and we're in the middle of the party. And they said, okay, we're announcing the top 7. We're announcing, you know, Cara as Miss America. This will be her first public appearance. And I tried to run around so that I could get a picture of her first time being announced. There were so many people there, I couldn't even get to her. And I was like, oh my gosh.
It sounds like a movie.
It does.
From a limo to a freight elevator
yes.
to the kitchen.
Yes, it was. That's what it feels like. It was a movie.